Massachusetts Beer Review number 9. Wanted to get to this beer for a while. Don't know why it's taken this long. But this one is out of Sierra Nevada Brewing. It is you can see that, the Sierra Nevada Porter. It's an American porter, 5.6 alcohol by volume. And they say classic porter. Sierra Nevada Classic Porter is a testament to roasted malts, which give it a rich, bittersweet, and roasted coffee-like flavor. This all-American adaptation of the traditional workman's ale is well-balanced and a perfect complement to a variety of foods. I never really noticed that Sierra Nevada has a good way of telling you what date this was brewed on. They have a code with a bunch of numbers and a colon with 2 numbers after it. Don't really know what that means. Wish I knew. What else do they say here? One of our favorite beers was a porter made before roasted malts were readily available. We spent time in the kitchen roasting barley for our own malt. The result is a big malt flavor, rich, bittersweet, and roasted. Going to see if the website here has any more information about their beer that's different in any way. We salute those working class heroes with our classic porter brewed in hop forward American style and featuring a depth of malt flavor, complexity with roasted notes of black coffee and cocoa. They list on the SierraNevada.com website for this beer. They list it as 5.6 ABV, bitterness units of 32, Yakima Golding hops for finishing, and Aurora for bittering. Two-row pale malt, Munich chocolate, caramel black, and carafa malts. Let's try a beer. Had it a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was very good. Let's see if I still think it's very good. We're using the Guinness glass because it is a porter, and I think it will work well in that glass. Almost overflowed. Okay. What you get is a very... It's not dark. It's not black. I don't know if that shows up very well. It's like this dark mahogany color, dark ruby mahogany color. Mahogany. The head is that off-white tan looking kind of a color. 2 fingers and a quarter, maybe, almost, probably, probably 3 on my finger size. Very creamy head. Very creamy, little rocky, some big bubbles, some small ones, sticking around a little bit. Nice ruby mahogany color with a nice looking creamy head. Very inviting. Let's get an aroma on this one, guys. Yeah, roasted malts right up front. Bittersweet, as they say on the bottle and on the website. Bittersweet roasted malts. There is a coffee element to that. It's like a baker's type chocolate. I'm not really sure if I'm getting I'm not getting a huge chocolate aroma. It's basically a roasted, toasted malt. It smells bittersweet, and it has maybe close to a medium roasted coffee with some cream. There's a little bit of that coffee and cream element to it. So let's take a taste and see what we think. Cheers. You can definitely tell that's a lot bitter than most stouts and porters. It's not overly bitter though. With that 32 IBU units, you're going to get a little bit of that earthy hop. Definitely bittersweet. You definitely get a lot of that roasted coffee malty flavor. Really hits the whole palate really nicely. Yeah, you really just get that extremely coffee, bittersweet roasted malt sort of a flavor. Very easy drinking. Let me see if I can describe that mouthfeel. It's medium. It has a little bit of that creaminess that almost makes it feel a little bit velvety. It's got like this combination of a velvety smoothness to it. It's really nice. Head is extremely creamy on this. It's good. But it dies down a little bit. As it dies down a little bit, it becomes a little bit foamy, which not bad. There's a little bit of the lacing you can see there. It's a little bit. I mean, at 5.6 ABV, it's not going to be a huge amount. It's not going to be so sticky to the glass like a Imperial IPA would have. So yeah, it's a very roasted coffee, malty like flavor. It definitely is bittersweet. I don't get really chocolate in this. And it has that earthy hop in it. I don't know really how to describe that. It's a little piney. I guess is the best way to describe that. So I'm going to let this sit for a couple of minutes, see if it does anything when it warms, and I'll be back with the final thoughts and grades on the Sierra Nevada's Porter beer. Very excellent beer so far. Alright, we're back. It's been 15 or so minutes. Just about 15, yes. Got a little bit of the Sierra Nevada Porter left in the glass. It's leaving some okay looking lacing there for sure. My assessment is you can detect a lot more of this beer's flavor when it's closer to, but not, this one's not at, but when it's closer to room temperature, you can detect the beer's flavor a little bit easier. It's definitely got that earthy hop in the smell still, that piney smell. Sierra Nevada uses whole corn hops. It's got a very piney, earthy smell. It's got an upfront piney, earthy smell. You still get the bittersweet scent of the roasted malt and that coffee-like flavor and scent. Creamy, coffee, bittersweet, malty, roasted malts. The flavor at this point, very smooth and very creamy. Not Guinness creamy, but still very creamy. I think there is a very light chocolate flavor, but overall it's a very nice, creamy coffee. It's bittersweet still. It's just overly smooth at this point. Just so smooth, and it tastes a lot lighter to me at this point than it did from the fridge. I would still say it's on the medium side, but it's on the lighter side of medium. That head does remind me of that Guinness smoothness, and that just that overall creaminess that you get out of the head is like a Guinness. It's amazing. It's so good. I'm gonna have to give that a solid, I don't know, four out of 5. Let's be safe and say 4 out of 5. This is the best beer I've ever had in the world. I don't think so, but could it be very close to one of the best beers I've had in the world? Maybe. Maybe this is up there on one of the best beers I've had in a long... Definitely it's the best beer I've had in a long time, guys. Yeah, I'm going to have to give that a solid 4 out of 5. I'll definitely give that an A rating overall. And I think, as Ronald the Riot would say, Louisiana Beer Reviews, it's one of these kind of beers that there's pretty much all good and no bad associated with the beer. But if I had to say something that was really bad, quote, I mean, it's not really bad, but if I had to say something negative about the beer, it's the 32 IBUs does give it this little flavor, this little, it's like a hoppy flavor. Yeah, the hoppy flavor. That little bit of that bitter pininess that is just different in a porter than I'm accustomed to in a dark beer, but it's alright. The finish doesn't really last too long. It's pretty dry after a while. It's slightly sticky, not too heavily carbonated, which is nice. But that finish really rounds out in with a bittersweet, almost like a toffee. Could be described as one of the flavors too. Almost like this toffee, this bittersweet toffee that envelops into the back of the mouth until it dries out after a few seconds. It's a medium of length finish, not too long. But I'm going to end this review by saying, you go get yourself some Sierra Nevada Porter. You're going to like it, son. It's very awesome. And until next time, keep tasting those good beers. Keep tasting those good foams. Cheers, everybody.